The Great War, through a London child's eye.
April 19th, 1921. Even though the months pass, Father is still unwell and troubled by the things he saw at war. But a letter he received has proved to be something of a tonic.
Now, here's some news. Do you remember me telling you about Private Stapleton?
Yes, wasn't he one of your men? Good sort, you said.
He certainly was. The bravest of all. Terribly injured on the battlefield, so he was sent home, only to succumb to Spanish flu. And just a boy.
That's very sad. I'm sorry, Father.
Well, his mother has written to express her son's gratitude to me, as if she owes me even a thought, to notify me of the location of his grave. Brookwood Military Cemetery. That's not far.
I thought all the graves were abroad. Didn't they say it was best to build the cemeteries where the men fell?
They did. But of course, many died here after returning wounded. And of course, there were fallen from all over the Commonwealth. Not all could be transported to their homes. So, a home they have here.
Shall you visit? Shall I accompany you, perhaps?
I could see Father was giving the matter deep thought. He'd felt too anxious to travel far from home and shunned the crowds of remembrance and parades.
Yes. Yes, I think that would be proper. And I would be grateful of the company, Edward.
We took the train to Brookwood Cemetery. It has been a cemetery for many years, but a space is now set aside for the military fallen. It even has its own station so that trains can transport the dead.
It's beautiful. So quiet and peaceful. See how the gravestones are in ranks, like a battalion. The sun is catching them beautifully.
Pals together. Just like in service. Officers and men, shoulder to shoulder.
We stayed at Private Stapleton's grave for a while and listened to the birds. Father seemed calm. I was glad we had come. I called on Sydney later, only to walk in on an argument.
Well, I'm not choosing words for a headstone I'll never see.
Hello? What's going on?
Hello, Edward, dear. Oh, I'm sorry. You catch me and Sid quite at cross purposes here. We've had news that John will be given a place in a military cemetery in Auxerre. That's where he was killed in France, with his own headstone. And we can choose the inscription.
They should have brought him home. It's not right.
They say it will be beautiful, like an English garden with lawns and flower beds. Oh, won't that be a comfort?
And it should be a cross, not just a stone. And he should be here, in St. Gregory's.
But not all of the men were of the Christian faith, Sydney dear. And it's so all the men are equal. Officers and gentlemen alongside common folk. It's right and fair. Isn't that right, Edward dear?
Well, yes.
But we'll never see it with our own eyes, will we? We can't even afford to get to Margate, Ma. Let alone a chew or whatever it's called.
Sure. Who knows what the future will bring, Sydney? And even though the Lord alone knows where your father is, there will even be space for his name on a memorial in the cemetery, so no one is forgotten.
You used to say it yourself, Ma. You can't grieve a ghost. Come on, Edward, let's get out of here. Goodbye, Mother.
Go on, be off with you. Just don't slam the door on your way. Oh.
Poor Sydney. He misses his brother so much, even though it's been years since he was killed. I hope one day he can visit John's grave. Perhaps then he can lay the ghosts to rest.
The Great War, through a London child's eye. Supported by the National Lottery through the Heritage Lottery Fund. Read Edward's diary at funkidslive.com/Great War.